Welcome back to Cool Game Collectibles, Black Ice Collectibles, and we here with another statue talk.
Yes,
This is
sir.
episode 7, and today we're talking about uh, too many statues. Is it too many? When is it too many? The surprising truth about collecting statues. So, bro, I know we all hit a point where we feel like we're running out of real estate.
Yeah.
Um, we start trying to figure out different ways to put shelving up or switch out shelving, um, go with tables. I mean, there's so many different ways to display. I know
Yeah.
one thing I've done recently was I had some floating shelves, and I had the majority of the collection on the floating shelves. I ended up taking those down and getting these shelves that's behind me, the cube organizers.
Okay.
And one thing I say is when you got to drill into the walls and all of that kind of stuff, and there's actual like construction you're doing,
Yeah.
that can get old real quick.
Yeah.
So having these like mobile shells, I would say helps a lot
Uh-huh.
with not running into the problem of having too many when
Yeah.
it comes to real estate, right? Of course, there's budget. There's I mean, there's a bunch of different stuff, man. There's a bunch of different things. Running into too many of the same statues. I know some people they like a specific character, so
Mhm.
they'll go with multiple Superman statues, or they'll go with multiple Iron Man statues, or whoever the character is you like.
Mhm.
Um, does that become overkill at a certain point, though?
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about today, man. I know that was a long introduction, but
Yeah.
you know, what's your thoughts on it?
Man. It's kind of funny that you mentioned the kind of like the drilling into the walls and stuff like that when it comes to your collection, because that's pretty much what I've been doing, man. That's the reason that the man cave has been taken as long as it has, is because I get IKEA shelving, and I know it's a lot of collectors out there, man, that feel like IKEA. Sometimes they feel like IKEA is like for the beginner, but it's not necessarily for the beginner collector, bro.
Mhm.
It's if that's your preference or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They feel like when you're putting a lot of money into these statues, that you can afford some better um, displays. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The stuff that I get from IKEA, this stuff is expensive, bro.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's expensive. I know it's, particle board or whatever the case may be, but it still does the job. And I have maybe about 10, 12, 13 cases from
Hmm.
IKEA. And I had to drill into the walls because when it comes to making sure that your statues are secure, that's something that I wanted to make sure I did. And to do everything myself, it was very time consuming, but I think it was worth it in the end, because I know that I don't have to worry about my statues falling over or anything like that. But it does get tired quick. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm exhausted, to be real with you, like real talk. I'm really exhausted, man, because I go to work as well. You know what I'm saying? So to go to work, come home, work on this, spend time with my son and my wife, you know what I'm saying? That can be quickly
Yep.
overwhelming, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it definitely can get old quick, man. But I think that, if you enjoy the hobby, it's worth it. It's worth it because you want to make the best display to your liking that you possibly can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you are a collector that collects a lot of statues, I say put the thought into it, put the work into it, make the display as nice as you want to. And it can get tired, it can get tiresome, it can get overwhelming. But I think in the end, it's definitely worth it with when you really want to do something above and beyond with your collection.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things you said is the security of them, right? Making sure that whatever you displaying them on, they're secure.
Yeah.
And depending on where you live, that could be more serious than other places, right? I mean,
Man,
if you're in a place where there's tornadoes, that could be an issue. You're in a place. I mean, I used to live in Louisiana, so hurricanes, man. I know you're in Florida, hurricanes,
yeah.
right? So
Uh,
that could be an issue.
yep.
I used to live in California,
Yeah.
earthquakes.
Earthquakes.
Yep. So,
And that's a
um,
big one right there, bro. Because when
yeah.
those, hurricanes, tornadoes, they have to penetrate the house. When
Hmm.
it comes to an earthquake, it shakes the house.
Right.
I know a lot of collectors, man, who have gotten statues broken because of earthquakes.
Man.
And then, by that time, your return window has closed and
Hmm.
all of that stuff. So now you're searching for either somebody to repair your statue or you're trying to repair it yourself. And it
Yeah.
really sucks to have those type of issues.
Yeah. True that. True that.
Yeah, man.
No, I will. I agree with you. I get some of my stuff from IKEA.
Hmm.
The floating shells were from IKEA. These are from IKEA.
Yeah,
Uh, I had a couple other stands from IKEA, but I agree, man. I mean, depending on what you get from IKEA, it can be real costly,
yeah,
but it gets the job done. For
yeah,
one, they are secure. Two, the look, right? I mean, everything has a very clean look to it. Has a
yep,
very finished look to it.
yep,
Uh, it allows you to display pretty much however you want to.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like these cube organizers, right?
Hmm.
You could either stand them up vertical, or you can have them laid down and more horizontal, right?
Yeah,
It's your preference.
yep,
But to be able to use one shelf in multiple ways, I appreciate that.
yeah,
Um,
most definitely, man. And that's one thing that inspired me when I first saw IKEA.
mhm.
When I first got into collecting, I went online and I was like, how can I make an awesome display for whatever it is I was collecting, which at the time was like some figures, right? Some
Yeah,
basketball figures that I had. So I was like, how can I, make the best display possible? And what had the most customizations to me was IKEA. Everything else was so limited to what you could do with it.
yeah,
And IKEA was the one thing that was like, you could do this, that, and you could just do so many different things and just make an awesome setup. So that's why primarily most of my displays come from IKEA, because and then at the same time everything matches. I get that
that
black
too. Yep,
brown.
yep,
You got the white, so you can
yep.
you gonna match that color with
Right.
all of the different options that they have for you. So I
Right.
can appreciate that, man.
Yeah. And with that, like you said, you want to be able to continue to add,
Hmm.
depending on how many you're collecting, right? So how many is too many? Um, I would say in regards to real estate, when you deal with a company like IKEA,
Hmm.
man, as long as you have the space to put the furniture,
Yeah,
you're good. To
yeah.
be honest, and I know you like the bestas.
Hmm.
I think you said you fit 13,
I do it like 13,
13
13
statues
statues.
into one besta.
I got at least 13 into one, and I could have one with more than that, but I think the highest I have is 13 in there.
So when you consider that, right?
Hmm.
That's one case.
Yep.
No, that's one. Is that one shelf, or is
That,
that
yeah,
one case in general?
yeah. So that's so like with the bestas, I
Yeah,
got it split up into three different sections.
yeah.
So in one of the sections,
It's
13 statues.
13.
Yeah,
All right. So when you consider that, man, that's a lot,
that's a
right?
lot.
So I mean, all of that to say, depending on how you display, will
Yeah,
allow you to collect more.
yeah.
Um, Scale, depending
Mm,
on what scale you
what
collecting, of
scale
course.
you got? Yep.
Now, if you jump in and You go on the big dog route with the 1/3s,
Yeah.
you might run out of space quick.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so that could easily turn into you not being able to collect as many. But
Exactly.
we both like Iron Studios, so we rock with the 110.
Most definitely.
Uh, I mean, sky's the limit with Iron Studios, man. You could have
Yeah.
hundreds of statues.
Yeah. And that's another thing, man. When it comes to uh Iron Studios, right? It's not your traditional type of, I got 100 statues. Let's say you got 100 statues.
Yeah,
If you got 100 statues, 1/10, you got 100 statues, 1/3. That's completely different. You know
completely
what I'm
different.
saying? Because them 1/3s, they killing the space, they killing the
Yeah,
real estate. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Whereas 1/10s, you could probably have, 4 or 5 IKEA display bestas, three per, and have over 100 statues in there.
right,
So it
right.
all just depends on what type of collector you are, man. If you trying to go big, that's a different problem,
Yeah,
because you can't really fit those 1/3s into cases like that.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because usually the height is going to be an issue, and then the
Hmm.
width is going to be an issue as well. So when it comes to your 1/3s, your traditional 1/3s, you're not going to be able to fit them. You do got some companies that try to minimize the base and the space as much as possible,
Right,
so that you can display them better. PCS does a great job with that. But then you got your companies like Prime One, and
hmm
they gonna go all out. You know what
right.
I'm saying? They're gonna give you the
You get
best
a
base.
20-inch base.
Exactly. So even their 1/4s, the base is about 20 something inches. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? On a lot of them. So it just depends on the company, and then at the same time, how big you're really trying to go. So that's why, doing those pre-measures before you buy
yep,
is crucial. And a lot of time they're not necessarily 100% accurate,
right.
but at least you have a ballpark figure of what you're working with.
True that.
You know
True
what I'm
that.
saying?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Um, budget,
Mhm.
budget wise, um, how many is too many when it comes to budget? I mean,
Man,
it sounds pretty obvious, but man, if you can't afford them, don't get them. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? The bottom
yeah,
line is don't get them.
yeah,
But I think it's important to have some kind of tracking system. If you don't have a spreadsheet or something to where you can monitor how you accumulate your statues.
yeah,
Um, that way, you don't run into a situation where uh, one something is coming out and you want it and you can't get it because you kind of tapped out.
yep,
But at the same time, you don't run into a situation where you get way over your head.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And you have 20 statues on pre-order, and then once the balance has to be paid, then you kind of sitting eyes wide,
yeah.
wondering what do you do, right?
What you gonna do?
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
So budget is definitely an important factor when you talk about how many is too many.
Yeah, yeah. And I like that you said that, bro. One cool thing I think some of the companies do, especially Sideshow. I say nobody top Sideshow when it comes to finding a way for you to make your payments. You know what I'm saying? With
Yeah,
their payment plan, I feel like they have probably the best payment plan out there. A
definitely.
lot of the other companies they use, like your Affirm, they
Hmm.
use like other stuff like that, other options to do payment plans.
Right,
I feel like the best payment plans have been like from Sideshow, because you could actually use their payment plan system that they have.
right.
Now you can use a firm and stuff like that with them as well,
Hmm.
but you can actually use their own system. So if you have a $2,000 statue, right? You may not be able to pay that large lump sum when it's up for shipping, but
Right,
you can break that up into those payments, because usually, like let's say if you pre-ordered when it first come out, you can set that on a payment plan, and let's say it comes out a year from now, you can have those payment plans to pay once a month all the
Yep.
way up into the shipping.
Right.
And then you didn't pay maybe just, $200 a month or $150 a month, as opposed to paying that whole lump sum at one time.
Right.
So I feel like in those situations, those are good options to have when you feel like you can't afford to pay that. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man, these statues can be very expensive,
Very
and
expensive.
that's what I feel like a lot of people, not necessarily a lot of people, have to do. Some people probably just prefer to just pay it out
Yeah.
up front.
Yeah.
That's something that I like to do, is kind of just pay it. But in
Hmm.
some cases, I mean, shoot, if I got to use a payment plan option or something like that, I would do it.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with it. Uh,
Right. No, not at all. And
yeah.
and to be honest with you, you could spend 2,000 up front
Mm-hmm.
for one statue,
Yep.
or you can say, you know what, I'm gonna do this payment plan, but now I can get 3 or 4 or 5 statues and have
Yeah.
each one of them on a payment plan,
Yeah.
and then roll like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like
So,
it.
I think those payment plans do allow you so much more flexibility,
They do. They do.
and opportunities to get more.
That's facts. That's facts, man.
And if you feel like you're ready to pay it off, you pay it off whenever you want to. You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
necessarily have to, you know, pay the whole 6 months or whatever it
Mhm.
is. I mean, you may come into some extra money that you weren't expecting.
Yep, yep.
Boom, pay it
That's
off.
true. That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you said, man, it's definitely good to have those options, bro. I know when I first started collecting, and I seen Sideshow, and I was getting familiar with everything that it entails. That's the first thing that I did, because I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Let me just see what it is. Let me try it out.
yeah,
And it was pretty cool, man. Like, I mean, it was just it allowed me to be able to play it safe. You know what I'm saying? Because it was something that I was like, okay, I don't really know if I'm really gonna, go into this or not.
hmm,
So this allowed me to at least test the waters and see if this is something that I really want. And that just kind of got me involved in feeling like, okay, I can have this hobby, and I can still maintain my lifestyle without feeling like I'm, crunched for money, or I'm going broke.
true,
So
true,
so yeah, man, I enjoy that type of stuff, man. I appreciate that for real.
true, true. Uh,
Everyday collector, man.
every-
What's up?
yeah, what's happening, man? What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let us know what your thoughts are on this topic.
Yes,
I
sir.
think for most collectors, right,
Hmm.
the 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 generic answer, or well, not even generic. I think the most authentic answer for us is there's never too many, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, I mean, we're collectors,
Yeah.
but I think we brought this up in a previous episode too.
Hmm.
Um, Collecting versus consuming, right?
Okay. Okay.
So collecting usually has some kind of structure to it, right? That's a term that we're starting to use on this show a lot, right?
Yeah.
Structure, having some kind of structure.
Gotta
When
have
you
it.
consume, it's just anything, right?
Yeah.
Just getting anything you possibly can.
Yeah.
Um, and it takes away from, I would say, the neatness, um, the display effect
Hmm.
that it can have when you just consume.
Yeah.
Because consumers means I can have statues all over to where I can't even walk in a room,
Yeah.
right? Whereas, and to me, that would be too many.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I can organize it in a way to where I like how it's displayed,
Hmm.
um, other people like the display, they appreciate seeing the collection when I do the room tour,
Yep.
then of course that's not too many,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's one thing, man. That I wanted to make sure, because I ain't want a problem with the wife. You know what I'm saying? So even though it still was kind of an issue with her at first, because she was like, "What is he doing?" You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
had to explain to her, like, listen, like, I'm collecting, right?
Yeah.
but I'm collecting on the smaller scale. Like look at these right here. Like,
Right.
I had to show her like
Right.
these aren't as expensive as the big stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I had
Yeah.
to show her like, yeah, I got a lot of these 110s,
Mm-hmm.
but it's at a cheaper price. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Right.
just out here just throwing away money.
Right.
So I had to kind of explain that to her, man, because that's one of the things like with my collection, it's kind of different because I have a bunch of boxes, but they're 1/10. So what I
Right.
usually do, like let's say when I'm storing my boxes or something like that, I
Mm-hmm.
usually keep like old boxes, like maybe old Amazon boxes or
Yep.
old boxes like that. And I
Yep.
store all of my as many Iron Studio boxes as I possibly can into one box.
There you go.
And then it's about the size of a 1/4 box or something like that.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So when you look at all of the boxes I do have a storage unit to store those boxes,
Mm.
but it's not too crazy to the point that it's like overwhelming.
Gotcha.
Now, by the time you take all the 1/10 scales out of those boxes,
Oh yeah.
that can be a little overwhelming. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it's
Yeah.
like, golly, it's so many
Yeah.
of them.
That'd be crazy.
That's different. But for the most part, it's not too bad, man.
Cool. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Let me see. What else? What else we want to talk about with that? Um, kind of mentioned earlier. Same characters, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
I've seen some collections where this is all they. So like Batman collector, he collects Batman related statues, but
Related.
not only Batman, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen some collections where it's strictly Superman.
Yeah.
Now, what's cool about it is it's not all 1/3 Supermans. It's not all quarter scale Supermans.
You
So
can't.
if they say they Superman, 1/3, 1/8, 1/6, 1/10, everything, right? Action figure Superman. So
Yep.
just a different way of collecting, right?
Hmm.
Um, you think that's too? Do you think that's too many in regards to that character though? If you have 50 Superman statues or figures, but it's different scales, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because that I've seen it in some ways it can be overwhelming when you see
Hmm.
that many Superman, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but there's some type of structure to what that person is doing too.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that, man. I seen a Harley Quinn collector,
Mm,
and this guy had, I mean, posters, art prints, statues, figures, all type of stuff, man. And I thought it was the coolest thing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it was
yeah,
so cool, man, because um, you could tell like his love for the character. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? Like you could really see that his passion in his collecting. You know what I'm saying? So when I see something like that, bro, it's not too much for me. It's something that I probably wouldn't do, but I understand why they do it. You
gotcha.
know what I'm saying? I understand why they do it, and um, it's amazing, man. It's amazing to go because that tells that you have no limitations when it comes to this character that you love, and that's what I like about like my collection or other collectors out there that don't mind going through different scales. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? When you got a collector that only collects one scale, that's cool. And it probably looks good as far as um, height wise and stuff like that if you
hmm,
display it right.
right.
But if you break them up correctly, I feel like you can have your 1/3s, you can have your 1/4s, you can have your
Right.
1/10s, you can have all of the scales that you want if you know how to display it. And that's the hard part. And I feel
Sure.
like that's why some collectors only collect one scale, is because to do that, do the other stuff,
Yeah,
like it takes a lot more creativity to make it display properly.
true.
You know what
That's
I'm
true.
saying?
That's true.
Yeah.
And speaking as somebody who early on, I felt like, man, I'm 1/10 and that's it.
Hmm.
That's it. I'm gonna just go all out. I'm gonna do everything 1/10.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you sit back and you look at some of these other statues, whether it's the premium formats, whether it's quarter scale, even the 1/6, the 1/3. But it's hard to not
Yeah.
want to at least test the waters with some of those. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, there's some really, really good stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You limit yourself, man.
yeah,
I know when it came to the next level, right? Next
hmm
level part 3 that we just seen. Man, I didn't plan on getting no Terminator, man, or no, no T-1000 or nothing like that, bro. But
right.
yeah, I had said I was done with my 1/3s because they take up so much space. But man, bro, just enjoying the hobby and
Yeah,
then to see such great work by Prime One,
right.
now it got my wheels turning, man. It got my wheels turning. So now I'm thinking, what can I do? Because I really like those pieces. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And then
yeah.
I like the Batman Tactical on Throne. I like that one as well.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? And then I like some pieces that PCS is doing.
Yeah,
So I feel like as a collector, bro, you're gonna constantly change your mind. You're gonna constantly, want to test the waters here and there. But I feel like when you limit yourself and say, I'm only collecting this one scale, you miss out on some great opportunities to collect great pieces because you limit yourself to that. Now, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. No, nobody spends your money for you.
right. True
That's
that.
your
Right.
yeah, that's
Right.
your money to spend.
Yeah.
But I feel like you miss out when you limit
Right.
yourself like that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? I agree. I even feel like that when it comes to the characters. How we are talking about if you only collect one character.
Yeah.
For myself personally, I do think it's cool when people do it because I mean it's an undeniable passion, right?
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
that's your character, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I almost fell into only Iron Man,
Hmm.
and I thought it was one of the that's my favorite character just in general.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, bro, I gotta have some other stuff. There's so many other characters. I mean, there's Ninja Turtles, there's Batman, Superman. I mean, the X-Men. There's so many other characters, so I couldn't limit myself that way. But for a minute, I was guilty with limiting myself to the scale, like I was saying, only
Yeah.
the 1/10. But I think you muted.
I'm not still
Oh,
muted.
you good? You good? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
talking to my son. My son was
Oh,
was coming up. Yeah.
uh, um,
Yeah.
man, the 1/3, like you said, that well, no, the tactical, yes, that caught my interest, and I know that's quarter scale. But
Yeah.
the 1/3, I in the beginning I always said, man, I'm gonna never get a 1/3. I never go
Yeah.
1/3.
Yeah.
But there's a couple Batman pieces, man, where I was like, bro,
Yeah.
that would be the one that'll make me totally change my mind.
Yeah.
Uh, that tactical though, I never thought I would spend 2,000 on a statue.
Uh-huh.
Just being honest, I never
Yeah.
thought I would do it.
Yeah.
But I guess if there was one to spend 2,000 on,
That's the one.
you know what I mean, that would be the one.
That's definitely the one, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's a dub all day, man. That's a win all day.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so speaking of 1/3s, man, it's funny, right? So my first 1/3 that I got was Sagat,
Hmm.
and I was afraid to get any other 1/3 because of how big he is, not realizing that he was just a taller character.
Right, right. He
You know what I'm
said what,
saying?
7'4"
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a character.
exactly. So I think he's either 40, he's 40 plus. He's either 40 or higher inches tall. So I was afraid to get any other, 1/3. And then I was like, hold on, bro. Like, is this a real 1/3? Because I was so traumatized by him.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
love his statue, man, because of just how nice, the definition of the muscles and the cuts and the veins, everything about him. So I
yeah,
really wanted that piece, but I was scared to get any other 1/3 because of it.
yeah.
Because I was like, man, that's just entirely too big of a statue. So when I got my other 1/3s, I think my other 1/3s I got was the Batman and the Arkham Knight from Prime One.
Hmm.
And then I was like, okay, so this seems like a normal 1/3. So it's big, but it's not that big. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I was like,
yeah.
I can work with that.
Gotcha.
But for a while I was kind of scared to get any other 1/3. So
Yeah, buddy. At
yeah,
some
man.
point, I'm gonna have to test the waters on them, man.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
some point.
I say do it, man. At least one piece, man, so you can see it in person. And I will say it can be overwhelming, especially when you 1/10 collector like us, when you collect 1/10s like we collect them.
Yeah.
So to see a 1/3, it really can kind of blow your mind at first, and then once it's like, okay, I can work with this. Then you just get into it, man, and you like them. You know, I like I said, I didn't plan on getting any more, but when Prime One showed us that Terminator, man,
Yeah,
like
man.
now, I don't know,
Yeah,
man. I don't know. I'm gonna probably you know get the wheels turning, get some thoughts going,
yeah.
and see about that, man, because that definitely, man, brought back some memories, man, to see those two
Hmm.
statues. Yep.
Yeah, I like that Terminator one too.
Yeah, man, very nice.
Man. Um, I want to say there's some other 1/3s. I saw 1/3 Wonder Woman, the 1/3 Superman Hush. To me, that's an amazing statue too.
Yeah,
You know, just
yeah,
the presence of it.
yeah,
Uh, I don't with at that size. I don't know how many of those I get though, bro. I mean,
yeah, yeah. And then Superman, because he's actually floating on that one, right?
hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So that makes him a little taller, man. So, um, I mean, hey, you just have to kind of prioritize. That would probably be like a centerpiece for me.
Yeah,
If
definitely,
I had
definitely.
that, because he's definitely was the I think the cape was mixed media though, right?
Oh, it might be. I don't know why I
I
thought that
think the
was
cape was
sculpted.
mixed
It
media.
might be. That might be mixed media. The one with the circle base.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it's massive, man. But I like his expression on
We
that
can
one
hear
too.
y'all too.
I like his expression on that one, man. Like the
Yeah,
seriousness.
yeah, yeah, yeah. My bad, man.
Oh, you good, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
good. This our thing.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah.
know.
They dying
Look,
down
we
my
say it's gonna go how we do it.
time.
It's all good.
For sure,
So
for sure. But but yeah, man. Like I'm really excited, man, to show my collection. I actually recorded it the other day, man. I recorded it the other
go to
day.
part three.
Yeah, part three, bro. I recorded
No,
it. Right now I'm editing it. Had some issues with it, man, because it was thundering so bad outside, bro. Like I'm talking about like next level thunder. Like I'm
yeah,
talking about almost shaking the house type
crazy.
of thundering, bro. So it was messing up my video. So I'm trying to find all of those parts and fix all of that stuff, man. So I'm working on that right now, man, because it was just too bad the other night. Because I planned on uploading that last night, but I couldn't do it with all the issues I had with it.
Gotcha.
But it looks awesome though, man.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to see, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't wait to see. I mean, the first two were, man, just amazing.
yeah.
You
Appreciate
know,
it.
especially seeing like the first one where, just to focus on the 1/10 setup,
Hmm.
just seeing them empty,
Yeah,
with just the posters in them,
yeah,
that was dope. But
yeah,
then to actually see the pieces in on the second one was like, yo, man, it
yeah,
like we had a chance to kind of see from beginning to end.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
not even the end. That was more like a midway point. So,
yeah, 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 yeah. It was
give me 1 second, bro. Come on.
okay. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Two. We can hear y'all, two. Yeah, I'm live. I'm live and I can hear y'all. Huh? Send Jace up here.
Yeah, my bad, man.
All right, you
My
good.
bad, man. Same thing. My little boy down there
Yeah,
falling
yeah,
all over the place, cutting up.
yep. But yeah, man.
You was
Yeah,
talking about the part three
yeah,
that I mean it just made me think of the setup. I don't know where to go, bro, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Because I really don't know I don't know which statues are coming in next.
yeah.
I kind of feel like I want to add like two more of these shelves. Um, possibly have two of them laying horizontal next to each other, and that would be
Okay.
for the larger scale stuff. We've talked about the Bestas, possibly going that route, and
Mm-hmm.
I have two empty walls where I could put those, and maybe just putting the one tents in those,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, man. I don't know. Like that's a part of the game, right? Is
Yeah.
and that honestly, that's what's fun about it is just trying to figure it all out. What makes sense? What
Mm-hmm.
do we like? But at the
Yeah.
same time, interest can change.
Yeah.
There was times where I felt like I just got too many,
Got
and I mean clearly, bro, nowhere near what other collectors have, right? And I already felt like it was too many.
got you.
Um,
Got you.
but
Yeah.
again, it's about the display, right? When I had the floating shells, I would walk in. I had like two rows, and that was cool. When I added that third row, I just felt like it was just too much.
Uh-huh.
No, just about the same amount of statues, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, nah, bro, I don't like that. It looks overwhelming because it's taking up a whole like this whole wall. But before that, I had some longer, like I guess the 70-inch floating shells. I had those kind of making a horseshoe going all the way around the room.
Okay.
That was cool for a minute. And
Yeah.
then that I was like, ah, it's cool. So I took another one of the 70-inch shells and put it under. So
Okay.
I was starting to go like two rows all the way around.
Okay.
Got to a point where I was like, nah, that's whack. I don't like that.
You didn't like it?
So I took all of it. So just like you were talking about the time, man, and the energy that you put into doing this stuff and you drilling holes into the wall.
Yeah.
And then I took all of that stuff down, repainted the wall,
Yeah.
like filled the holes, repainted the wall, went got these. And still this was cool for a couple months.
Yeah.
And now I'm back at like, all right, bro, what do I want to do? Um,
Gotcha.
But I think a part of my issue is I put the shelving before the statues. And
Okay.
what I mean by that is I'll try to plan for what I think I'm gonna get before I actually get it, and then go and get the shelving to accommodate that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so sometimes, but you brought up the other day, sometimes it's just being patient in regards to um, buying a statue, or in regards to the statue coming in.
Yeah.
I think even with how you'll display it, though, sometimes there has to be a patience. Like wait for the statue to get in,
Yeah.
wait for three or four of them to get in,
Yeah.
then figure out how you want to display them.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Yeah. In some cases, I definitely agree with that. Um, Me, I try to plan before I get them.
Hmm.
Um, and it's easier to do when you are collecting a certain line.
True,
You know what I'm
true,
saying? It's
true.
easier to do it when you're doing that as
Yeah,
opposed to when you're doing individuals. Because when you're doing those individuals, it can be a lot harder. And sometimes you gotta wait till you get it in hand and then you can look around and see where you want to go with it.
right.
So like I say, I agree with that, man. Um, I actually have some pieces right now that still kind of undecided because they're
Hmm.
they're nice statues that I really like, but I don't really know how to display them or because I have my glass those mountable glass displays, those
Hmm.
clear ones, right?
Yep, yep,
And I got a couple pieces in those, but just finding the space on my wall to display it,
yeah,
that's the part that's kind of hard for me on some of them.
yep.
Um, because I want it to make sense.
Right.
And I feel like it's kind of hard for it to make sense on a couple of them.
True, true that.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So it
said you said something about lines just
mhm,
now, and that made me think about like back to our topic, right? The
yeah,
having too many. Do you feel like when you're collecting a line,
mhm,
the company can make too many for that line? Now, the reverse to that is we've mentioned like for the Spider-Man collection, they
yeah,
didn't make enough, right?
yeah,
For
yeah,
some of the other stuff like the Captain America Sam Wilson
mhm,
and what was the show? Hawkeye, not
yeah,
Hawkeye, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
yeah,
Like they just didn't come out with enough characters, right?
yeah, yeah.
But what about when they come out with kind of like the Ninja Turtles, 11 of them, or they go even further than 11? Ah, what's happening, man? What's up, bro? What's going on?
Say what's up, man?
A train.
A train? Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Man, golly. Um. So what you were saying right there, bro?
Man, you make me want to go grab my little boy, but I know soon as he comes in,
Mhm.
he gonna be shy, man. He gonna be a deer in headlights.
Yeah,
Then he
yeah,
gonna start all of that shy stuff and all that
yeah, yeah,
instead of just saying hi.
yeah, man. He'll speak sometime, man.
Yeah,
He getting out of his shell a little bit.
that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So I was talking about the lines, right?
Hmm.
We've talked about companies not making enough for us for a
Yeah,
specific line, right? Kind of
yep,
like the
yep,
Spider-Man, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
yep.
But what Iron Studios is doing right now, like with the Ninja Turtles, right?
Hmm.
They're at 11.
Yep.
Um, do you ever feel like it's too many in a line?
Um, Sometime, bro, but it's
Mm.
rare with Iron Studios because they do such a great job with them.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
like for instance, I mean, if you want to talk about too many, man, if you look at the X-Men versus Sentinel
that
line,
was crazy.
that's
Yeah, bro.
that's top of the
Yeah,
line, you
that
know. And I know some people
that
that
was
got
crazy.
I know some people that got all three dioramas and all the proximity pieces. You know what I'm saying? So when you got all of that, man, that's just massive, bro.
It
So
is, but it
um
should be applauded too. I'm look, as a collector, if you went that far,
Yeah,
I applaud that, man.
yeah, most definitely,
That's
bro.
awesome.
And yeah, and it's a bunch of collectors, man, who was just like they dove in and they
Yeah,
just went crazy on it. Like, and when you look at it, man, it's definitely impressive. It looks
yeah,
awesome. It looks amazing.
yeah,
Me, I just went with the first one and just got proximity pieces to complement it.
yep,
But yeah, man, for those who collect that entire line, bro, listen, if they can collect that entire line and it looked that good, man, you
right.
can't collect, you can't have too many. I don't see Iron Studios doing any more um lines like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
they
That was
could. I guess they could. I don't know who, what it would be, but because even with the apocalypse that they got coming out, I
yeah,
don't see it being nearly as many statues as they did for that one for
right.
the X-Men versus Sentinel. So um, that one there, man, if you gotta say was too many, that one was too many, but I think it was well worth it.
Yeah,
Um, because it gave you so many different options. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Characters that, not because not everybody's going to collect every character, but I feel like they gave you characters that you would never ever see
True,
in another scale. You
true,
know what I'm saying?
true, true.
And that's what I love about what Iron Studios does,
Yeah,
is that they can give you things that other companies just won't give you.
yeah.
Yep,
I
yep,
agree. And
yep.
I don't think there can be too many.
Hmm.
Most of the time, I don't think there can be too many. There
Yeah.
are times when I feel like, or it's more, it's I guess the communication of it and not knowing. If I know
Hmm.
that these are coming, then I can pick and choose,
Yeah.
right, more wisely. But there are times when I might feel like, you know what, I bought this and I wish I would have known that this was coming. So now I feel like y'all just did too many because if
Yeah.
you would have stopped here, I would have been good. But now that
Yeah.
you made this,
Yeah.
now I want that. And I
Yeah.
really didn't want, this previous one. So just little situations like that. I think
Yeah.
I I mean you could always sell it, of course, but in those situations I would feel like, man, y'all kind of went a little too far
Yeah.
because I wasn't expecting those, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I got you.
yeah,
I get you. I get what you're saying. I so I do hate sometimes, when they come out with another piece late, kind of like you was just mentioning.
mm,
Um, and I get it. Sometimes it may not be that thought to do that at first, and then
right,
maybe something triggered it, or somebody was asking for it, and all of a sudden they decided to do it.
right,
So that's cool. But like for instance, when it comes to the Zack Snyder's Justice League, right?
yeah,
So the first Batman they announced for it was the Nightmare Batman. So
yeah.
I was like, this is the Batman they're gonna do. They're not gonna do another Batman. I didn't see them
Oh,
doing
then
another
it
one.
came with the
And then later on, they came with him on the bat signal. So I'm
yeah,
like, yeah. And that one to me looks way better. It got
yeah,
the back signal lights up and everything.
yeah,
But I already got the Nightmare Batman. Plus, I don't have a Nightmare Batman in my collection. So I was like, you know what? I'll just keep it,
yeah.
even though it's not as good as the other one. But I
So in
felt
that
like,
situation, you kind of felt like, well, there was too many Batman statues for this particular line.
yeah, I felt like instead of doing that, they should have did Flash, or they should have did Cyborg,
Gotcha.
or they could have did Joker. They could have did something else besides giving
Yeah,
us another Batman.
gotcha.
Yo,
True that.
yo,
True that.
yeah.
It's another one. Early on, I mean, different character, but same character,
Hmm.
right? With the Spider-Man No Way Home stuff.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Far From Home.
Far From Home.
When
Okay,
they did Night Monkey, but
yeah,
they also had Spider-Man.
yeah,
So I knew you got them displayed. I got them displayed too. But sometimes when I look at it, it's kind of weird because there's two Spider-Man statues in the same
yeah,
display. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And I laugh at it sometimes, but
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, and it is, man. And I guess in a way, Spider-Man probably wouldn't even he probably wouldn't even be nowhere near that.
Hmm.
because it was Night Monkey that was out there with Mysterio and
Right.
fighting against what it is, Lava Man, whatever he
Oh,
was.
Molten
Yeah,
Man.
Molten Man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so Spider-Man really wasn't there like that.
Right.
So it's kind of weird, man, because when I first started collecting the line, I didn't see the movie yet.
Oh,
So
okay.
so I thought, you know what I'm saying, but I kind of figured, I was like, is this somebody trying to be like Spider-Man or what? You know, I didn't know
Yeah.
who Night Monkey was.
Yeah.
But then when I got both of them, I was like, oh, okay. And I saw the movie, I was like, okay. But I was like, all right, it works. So I just went on ahead and kept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Same. And if you're gonna give me more Spider-Man statues, I'm taking them. You know what I mean? Like certain characters, bro.
Yeah.
You know, um,
Yeah.
I decided to switch it up with the Avengers collection and just go with like one of each character.
Hmm.
But at one point, I really thought I was going to get every single Iron Man that came out from every movie.
Got you.
At one point, I even had the Iron Man 3, the Mark 3 from no, just the Iron Man 3 movie. There
Hmm.
was a statue made from that one where the
Yeah.
torso switched out. I even
Okay.
had that one. I was on an Iron Man kick for a while, bro, and
Yeah.
everything was about to be Iron Man, but only in one tent.
Okay.
So thinking about it now, that may have worked if I eventually moved to some premium formats or some quarter
Hmm.
scales and added
Yeah.
those in. But
Yeah.
I changed my mind a lot, bro. So
Yeah. I got you. I got you. Um, and it's easy to do, man, with so many nice pieces being out there.
yeah,
Um, because a lot of a lot of my collection originally, I had to go back and find. I had to go back and find, like, because when I first collected Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I got Guardians of the Galaxy 2 at first.
yeah,
And
with the
that
octopus.
came, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And I ended up finding that. And when I found that one, I was like, man, bro, like I had missed out on this, missed out on it. So I got that one. And then I found out later on that they also did one from the first movie. And that
yeah,
one right there was so rare. It was so hard to find. And it was back, I think, when they was probably first starting out, because it has like another company on there as well. So kind of
okay,
like they partnered with another company on those
yeah.
particular ones.
That's the
And
one with the Mora walking with the sword in her hand.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And that one right there, man, that one statue alone is so hard to come by
yeah.
without it being damaged, because for some reason the way they made her thumb
Mm-hmm.
is brittle. Like her thumb
Okay.
is so brittle. So if you slide that sword in incorrectly,
Mm-hmm.
it's falling off. It's falling off, and it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it makes that statue so much rarer,
Yeah.
because if you have a mint one that's not broken,
Mm-hmm.
that increases the value on it.
True that.
And that's how mine is. I had, our guy, right? I had him find that for me, because
Yeah.
um, he was looking for the line for me, and he found a couple pieces, but the one that he found of Gamora, the
Mm-hmm.
thumb, I mean, the hand was just, it seemed like somebody had chewed on the hand. It
Damn.
was so bad, like
Yeah.
it was missing all type of fingers, bro. She probably had like one finger on the hand.
That's
And
crazy.
so
That's,
I was like, nah, I can't.
yeah, I got to pass on that, man.
Yeah, man. So uh he said, okay, let me do some more research. And he ended up finding me one, man, that was in mint condition, bro. Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, man. So it was a hard find, but he found it.
That's awesome, bro. So
Yep,
you
yep.
so now you have all of them from the first movie.
Yeah, I got all of them from the first movie, including Thanos. So they
Oh,
did
dope.
Thanos, yeah,
Oh,
Thanos on throne.
dope.
Yeah, so kind of like when he was at the end of the movie
Yeah,
and he was on the throne in space, like that's what it is. That's the scene that it's from.
that's dope,
Yep.
man.
And I did find out they have an exclusive as
Mm.
well, but the exclusive is just like a switch out head portrait.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like a little sweet, and it's a slight difference.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really not missing out on too much. But I wish I had I wish I had it, but it's not that much of a difference to it.
Especially now with the 1/10. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I switch out the portraits on the larger scale
Hmm.
more than I would switch out the 1/10. The 1/10, I honestly, like, sometimes I just forget the stuff in the box.
Bruh.
You
So
know,
so do you keep yours in the box?
I do, I
So
do.
I used
I'm getting to a place where now I'm trying to take them out and kind of have them at least somewhere close to the statue.
yeah.
Like matter of fact, behind the Superman,
Hmm.
that little tray that's sitting back there, that's the
Yeah.
other portraits, the other three
Okay.
portraits that go for the Superman. So
Gotcha.
that way it's a quick switch out. I don't want
Yeah.
to have to dig in the box and
Yeah.
find it and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to.
Yeah. And that's what's up, man. On one of my videos, man, when I was about to move, I
Mhm.
kind of showed what I use for my switch out portraits.
Okay.
And it's basically like a kind of like a little organizer, right? It's like a little
Yeah.
tray organizer with a bunch of different pull out drawers,
Yep. Yep.
real small. And that's what I use to display all of my switch outs for my 1/10 scale because they're not that I normally use them, but it has been some cases where I'm watching somebody else's channel
Yeah.
and they got the other switch out on there, and I'm like, oh, that looks so good.
Yep.
But if it's
Yep.
in my storage unit
Yeah. You stuck.
in the box, I don't know where it is. I don't
Right.
know. I'm gonna have to dig through everything just to find it, and that did happen to me a couple times back when I first started collecting. So I was like, man, I got to go through all of this stuff to find the switch out. So now I started keeping that stuff readily available
Yeah.
just in case. You know what
You
I'm
know, it's a
saying?
good example of that. That Doctor Strange, right? That in-game Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I have it with the I don't know what you want to call it, like one of the circles up right now,
Yep. Yep.
and the sword.
And the sword.
But to be honest, I want that other circle.
And
So
it's in
I'm
the
gonna have to go
box.
dig in the box, find it, and pull that one out. Yeah. So it just makes sense to have everything readily accessible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you want it to look neat too, man. And
Yeah.
I'll show what I use because I actually got it in one of my displays over there. It's like one of the ones with the closed doors, so you can't see what's inside of it.
Okay.
But that's why I actually store like my switch outs because I even have a tray organizer for my 1/4 scales as well. And
Okay.
basically, what I use
Cool.
for that is kind of like a thing I found on Amazon. Oh, what's up, Dwayne? What's up, man?
What's happening, Dwayne?
I um I found like this tray thing on Amazon, and it basically allows you to like pluck like little pieces out of it.
Mm,
And it's used for multiple things, man. You can kind of
okay.
use it for like figures, toys, anything you want to put in there because once you pull the styrofoam out,
Yeah.
it can mold into whatever shape you want it to mold into.
Oh, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty cool, man. And
Yeah.
that's what I use for my 1/4 so that
Okay.
they won't get damaged.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I got like 3 of those for that. And then I do have the switch out head portrait for Sagat.
Okay.
And I just got that chilling inside of the case.
Yeah.
And then I think I got the switch out gun for Arkham Knight, the long gun.
Hmm.
And that's pretty much it for my 1/3. But you do want to kind of have some just because at first I did have for Arkham Knight, I had the long gun being displayed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, I want to display the pistol,
Yeah.
the smaller version of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, man, let me just keep both of them. So whenever I want to switch it out, I can just switch them out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
No, I want to say it's the Batcave, but there's some other ones too, where it's almost like there's a little mini base on each one of the portraits to where they stand up by themselves and they look like a mini bus.
okay.
I like those, and I think one was the Batcave where they did it, and then there's some other 1/3s where they did the same thing, but
Oh, okay.
you you could just stand stand the switch out portraits right next to the statue.
Yeah. So you talking about
That's
Batman,
dope.
Batman, the Hush,
Yeah,
Batman. Okay,
yeah,
yeah. And see, I like those little mini displays like that, bro. When you
yeah,
can do
bro.
that
That's
for the
cool.
head portraits, and I wish more companies would do that.
Hmm.
Um, and that's prime one, but they don't always do it.
Yeah,
They don't always do it for the switch outs, and I guess it kind of depends on um, the way the head aligns with the body, because otherwise it probably wouldn't make sense. They would probably have to do something bigger to make it stand up right.
yeah,
Um, so I guess that's why they don't do it with all of them, but I do appreciate when those come with it, because I know with their was it Suicide Squad? I think it was Suicide Squad. I don't know. It had Will Smith. It had Harley Quinn. So basically Deadshot, Harley Quinn. But so for instance, like with Will Smith looked amazing on the statue, right, as
hmm,
Deadshot. But it also came with like two other head switch outs, and they all had like the little mini stands for the head portraits.
yeah,
And that was for him, that was for Harley Quinn, that was for um whatever other characters they made. I think Joker. Yeah, it was Joker. Um, yeah, so it was cool, man. It was cool to see them display and then see the little mini head portraits with it.
yeah,
And I will say now, so I do have a Kuma, right, from Street Fighter.
yeah.
So the statue that PCS made, and that's the ultimate statue. So that ultimate statue, it came with like 6 or 7 head switch outs,
That's
6 or 7 head switch outs,
yeah.
and it also came with and I think it's like either 2 complete statues, so you can do 2 complete statues.
Hmm.
You can do the different head switch outs. You got 2 bases, but the other base is like your traditional black basic base that
Hmm.
PCS used to do.
Yeah,
But then it also came with the individual stands for all of the heads. So I was going to do it, right? I was going to display them, but I was like, I didn't know how I was going to do it, where I was going to do it at. So I
yeah,
just said, you know what, man, I'm just going to alleviate the trouble and just leave them in the box, man. But it was so many, and they did do that, and I do appreciate that they did that. And I
yeah,
hate that I'm not displaying it, but it was just one of those things where it was going to just create so much more work for me to do,
yeah.
and I just didn't even feel like dealing with the headache.
So that's another question. We talked about too many statues. Is it possible to have too many statues? Can you have too many switch outs?
Yep,
Because
you can,
like the one you mentioned,
you can.
I think the Nightwing from the Batman Samurai line. I
Yep,
think
you
that one
can.
has a ton of switch outs.
Too many. Yep.
Can it be too many switch outs, man?
And see that's like a double edge, man, because it's
Yeah,
like it's like
I want the options. Honestly,
yeah,
I
you
just don't
want
want
the
to have to deal
options
with all the
because you
options.
don't yeah, because you don't know what's going to appeal to the customer, right?
Yeah,
So the one that you decided not to do, that might be the one that would have
that hit.
made this person over here decide to buy it.
Yep,
You know
true
what I'm
that.
saying? So it's
Yeah,
kind of it's tough, man.
yeah,
But what it does to the person who has the statue is it's like, man, I don't know how I want to display it.
exactly.
So in a way, that's a good problem to have,
Yeah,
but it's still a problem that we face as collectors. It's like, I don't know how I want to display it. So now you're kind of frustrated because it's like they gave me too many
really too
options.
many options, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I have heard like Jim Mint, for instance, just say like in some cases
Mhm.
he don't need he want a statue that don't have any switch outs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or just, you know what I'm saying, where it's
yeah,
just like they put all of that into one portrait and just kill that one portrait
yeah.
and call it a day. Now
Man,
I
and
will
there's
say,
some I agree. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah,
Then there's some where I'm like, man, I wish you would have did a switch out portrait for
yeah,
this one.
yeah, yeah,
Right,
I agree.
just to have that other option and to see what they would come up with.
Yeah, yeah. Now I do I now one statue that I wish they wouldn't have did a switch out on was Prime, not Prime One, PCS 1/3
Hmm.
Ralph from the Ninja Turtle line.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Well, the problem is with that particular switch out is the neck scene. I didn't like where they switched the head out.
Yep.
I feel like if they would have just gave us one portrait,
Yeah.
that would have been fine because you wouldn't have had to worry about that neck seam. And most people
Yeah.
that I've seen display it, they display the regular portrait anyway. They're not even displaying the exclusive portrait with the bandana.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the bandana one is cool, but I do feel like the regular one does look better
I
with the
agree.
regular bandana. But the one with kind of like the bandana like he has off Prime, not Prime One, off the movie.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what they did with the alternate portrait. And I honestly feel like they should have just did the one
Yeah.
and then just eliminated that next scene, you know, not even did a switch out for it, man. Because
Yeah.
that was like my biggest turnoff with that statue. And by being a 1/3, you
Yeah.
know it's noticeable. You know
Yeah.
it's
True
noticeable.
that.
And I just
For
feel
some
like they just
reason, it's like they struggle with Raph though, because
hmm
even on the animated ones, the quarter scale animated ones,
hmm
the expression on Raph's face didn't differ much between the regular and the exclusive.
okay,
Like it was, I mean, pretty much the same expression.
got you.
All of the other ones had a serious expression and then like a comical expression where they're either laughing or something silly.
Yeah,
Raph had two serious, and I mean it's Raph, so I guess that's what you expect from Raph,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
I felt like they could have had one where he was like gritting his teeth or like something to really show the difference between the two.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
And that's kind of what we mentioned the other day, man, when we was talking about the Batman Tactical on Throne.
Yeah, man.
You know, they give you that exclusive portrait, you know, with the bonus version, but all it was just shorter ears on the cow.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, you could have gave me something else
right.
with that. Like he could have did something a little different with the
Or
face.
don't do a portrait switch out. Give me another hand with
Give me
a phone in his hand, a
something.
gun in his, a weapon in his hand, something else,
Yeah,
right?
something, man. I don't know, because I feel like ultimately you end up paying for that, right?
Yeah,
Because they gotta find a way to calculate that into the
yeah.
price.
So at that
So
point, just don't do it. If
exactly,
it's
I feel
that
like
close to if you have two that's that close to each other, you might as well
don't
not
even
do
do it, man.
it. Yeah,
Don't do it because that will keep the cost down for
yeah,
the buyers
yeah.
and just yeah, just make it a little more simpler for us. I feel like sometimes it'd be a little
It's
too much, man.
overcomplicated.
Yeah, and one thing about so you never had a Prime One piece, right?
No, no,
So you ain't never seen nothing like a Prime One piece in the box. Like so, what I mean by
no,
that is
no.
when it comes to
Not in person.
yeah,
Not
so
in person.
when it comes to a lot of their pieces, man,
Mhm.
when I tell you it's a bunch of pieces, individual pieces in the box,
Yeah,
that it can be overwhelming sometimes. And then the instructions that they give you sometimes, bro, it's like it don't do anything to help you.
yeah. I mean,
You
the
know what I'm
fact that it's
saying?
coming with instructions,
It's
right? That's letting you
yeah,
know
yeah.
this,
Yeah, it
this
comes
ain't
with
easy.
instructions, bro.
Yeah,
And the only thing that can get it sometime is to watch another video. You know what I'm
you
saying? But
know.
if you
Usually, that's my resource.
yeah.
I'm gonna reference
Sometimes
another video.
exactly.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's your best friend when it comes to Prime One statues, man, because they have so many individual pieces.
yeah,
And like I say, the instructions, they are Japanese company, so the instructions sometimes just don't work well with us.
yeah.
Um, and it can be difficult, man. It can be frustrating. So so yeah, man, Prime One, they definitely probably top notch when it comes to their statues, but at the same time, they can make it a headache for you, man. So switch out options, the bases, all of the stuff that comes with the bases. Sometimes, bro, it's like, bro, y'all could have made this a lot simpler for me, man. So it can be rough.
Man. Let me see. I think that was really all I want to cover, man. When it came to that specific topic, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
What you
I, all in all, I don't think you can have too many as long as you find a good way to display
yeah,
and to where there's some kind of organization like we talked about in the past.
hmm
Then it's dope. You know,
yeah, yeah. And what
be smart with your real estate.
most definitely, man. And what typically happens when it comes to some collectors, man, they get to a point where they get tired of certain pieces, and then they decide to sell them, and then they get some to replace it, right? And
Yeah,
that usually happens once you see the new statues that's coming out. You're like,
yeah.
okay, it's coming out.
Oh yeah,
What can I get rid of to basically give me some money to
yeah,
pay for these? And I feel like that's what typically happens, like when you're running out of real estate,
yeah,
right? You decide to sell off some things.
yeah.
Um,
Or that
and I
better
feel
version comes out. There's
or
just
a better
a
version
better
comes out.
version of
Yep.
something of some character.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm all fine with that, man. For the most part, usually when I get something, I don't sell it, bro.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I won't sell it. There are
Mhm.
some things that I did sell, and that's just because I decided to go in a different direction. Because I want majority of my cases, I want majority of my statues, I want inside a case.
Yeah.
Um, so like I know I had like a lot of statues displayed outside of cases at my previous home,
Yep.
and I decided to kind of just change some of that. So therefore, I had to get rid of some of those pieces, man. And I didn't really want to, but it was
Mhm.
the best thing that I could do. And then it gave me some extra money as well, some extra income. So that's always helpful.
Yeah.
But typically, man, when I get some pieces, bro, I got them because I want them, and I
Right.
don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
But I do understand things do happen.
Yeah. And like I said, bro, sometimes I'm indecisive. So
Mhm.
I'll like something a month or two later. I might be like, man, I don't like this. I don't like the way this fit with the collection. Or like I said, a better version will come out.
Yeah.
There's just certain characters, man. I probably could chill and have more than one of a character,
hmm
but the kick I'm on now is just nah. I just want one of that character,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm good. But it might change. I mean, especially if I go the route of getting the bestest,
hmm
and I can better organize them. You know what
hmm
I mean? I don't know if I would go as far as like specific movie or specific um, show. I don't know if
hmm
I would go that route.
hmm
And the reason for that is I just don't have enough of the pieces from that particular movie, right?
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
only have one or two pieces from certain movies. So
Got you.
uh, I mean that's more for the Avengers. Spider Man, I have the majority of the pieces
Uh-huh.
from all three movies, and then the X Men with the X Men, like you said, it was so many that they
Mhm.
released.
Yeah.
I kind of got into the X Men line late,
Okay.
so I was just happy to get the main seven.
Okay.
Like I really wish I would have had a chance to get the Nightcrawler before it skyrocketed to
Yeah.
the stupid prices it's at now.
Uh-huh.
Colossus, I would have wanted
Yeah.
Magneto, like that. There's probably another eight that I
Uh-huh.
would add, but I don't know how I would display it because I don't have the Sentinel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At one point, I thought about trying to get both sides and do like a battle scene,
Yep.
but I didn't go that route because initially I thought I would do the same thing with the Avengers Endgame stuff,
hmm
and I tapped out on that one. I
Yeah.
mean, it
Yeah.
was what, like 27 pieces, I think,
Yeah.
with the Avengers Endgame.
It was, yeah, it was a nice little
And
bit, man.
some stuff I just didn't want. You know what I mean? Like you said, you won't get rid of stuff if you get what you really like. If you
Uh,
get stuff just to complete a line,
yeah,
at some point that's going to be a fluid piece.
yeah, yeah.
And I think in some cases that's what happened, bro. I got stuff just because
Hmm.
it went with the line. I didn't really care about that character, didn't care about the statue itself.
Yeah,
Like there was nothing that really had me drawn to it besides, oh, I'm trying to complete the line. So
gotcha, gotcha. Yeah,
yeah, bro.
it, and sometimes that can be a burden to have that over your head. You know what I'm saying? To like
Yeah,
feel like you have to complete the line. Um,
yeah, yeah,
so that when it came to the end game line, it was maybe one or two pieces I didn't really care for. I think Groot, I didn't really care for Groot.
mm.
But he was cool though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, he was definitely
Yeah. I
cool.
think it's just a little simple.
Yeah, he was very
Like if they could
simple.
have just did a little bit more with him, it would have
Yeah,
been that would have been a dope piece.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
And the character's dope. You know what I mean? That's a tough situation too. When the character is dope,
mhm,
but the statue that represents the character is just
yeah,
it's just kind of weak. Like they could have went a lot harder with that one.
yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. I'm with you, man. Yeah, it is certain ones out there like that, man. That I felt um was kind of like just something I was doing to complete
Yeah.
that particular line. When it came to the X Men line, I started out doing that, but then I quickly said, you know what? They announcing a different statue like every like
Every
every
week or
comic,
so. Yeah.
bruh. So I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. So I had a bunch of stuff that was on pre-order that I end up trying to like cancel and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Um, because it was like, listen, I'm not gonna do all of that. So in my collection of the X-Men versus Sentinel, I don't have any of the villains.
Got you.
The only villain I do have is in a kind of like a Wolverine setup. So that's like a battle off in my little battle off section.
Yeah.
I got Wolverine battling off against Silver Samurai.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that's the only villain I have,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to display a bunch of villains. I wanted to put the X Men over there.
And you
So
said
that's
my bad, cut you off.
no, you good? What's up?
Because earlier we were talking about like having too many of the same character, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So they had the regular Wolverine with the blue and yellow suit.
yep,
I was good on that. But
yeah,
then when they came out with Logan, a part of me wanted Logan.
uh-huh,
But the only way it would make sense to me is to do like you did and
yeah,
have him square off with somebody.
yep, yep.
Who else better than Sabretooth?
Yeah. Oh,
But
Sabretooth
so
would
that
have
would
been a
have
great
been
one.
dope, right? To have those two pair off.
But
But
I missed out on Sabretooth.
now what's crazy is
They just
they just had him on sale.
that is so crazy,
But
bro.
look, it wasn't a big deal to me now because I didn't
Yep,
get Logan. So
yeah,
it was like it's always like I'm gonna get this one, but I'm gonna wait for this one. And then
yeah,
while I'm waiting for that one sells out. Then when
yep,
I go back and this one is available, the other one sold out. Like, come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
So,
If if
yeah,
now originally that's what I wanted. I wanted Sabretooth to go against Wolverine. But when I did some research, right, and I found a Wolverine poster.
yeah.
Um, and in that poster, I forgot what movie it was, but it was actually, I think it was The Wolverine. I think that was the name of the movie, The
Mhm.
Wolverine. But in that movie, he fought Silver Samurai.
So then
So,
it worked
so
out.
it made
Yeah.
sense for me to do Logan and do Silver Samurai. So that's the way I had them set up.
Yeah, see, that's perfect. When you could find a
Yeah.
way to make it make sense.
Yep. Yep. So that's what I did there. And I gotta watch that movie. I've never seen that movie before. But
Oh, the Wolverine?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but I did,
they're all good movies. All of
yeah,
them. All of them.
yeah.
Everything that every spinoff from the X-Men. To
Okay.
me, some of the X-Men movies are a little slow.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of talking.
A
You know
lot
what
of
I
talk.
mean? Like,
Yep.
I'm looking for the action in the movie.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with
Dwayne said that same thing he's facing with the one or the quarter scale, one
you.
fourths for
Yeah,
X-Men. So many and so overwhelming.
yeah.
And I mean that's true. Initially, before I got the 1/10, I was about to jump into the quarter scales, right?
Hmm.
And the reason I didn't is because most of the exclusives were sold out.
Okay.
And with quarter scale, man, I want the exclusives.
Hmm.
Um, that Wolverine was already sold out. The Gambit with the toothpick in his mouth, that switch out, that one was already sold out. The Rogue was already sold out.
Yeah.
So it just felt like the Jean Grey hadn't come out yet. I want to say the Cyclops might have been in stock. It was on sale, but they were advertising the pre-order for Jean Grey.
Okay.
And then who am I missing? Who am I missing? Beast. Then I don't even think they had a Beast. Not
Okay.
not from Sideshow.
I
I
can't
want to
remember. I
say
don't think so.
the only Beast I saw was from XM, and
Yeah,
it
I
was
got.
fire. Like the one where he's kind of like chained. They have him chained.
Yeah.
That one
Well,
was
you talking about the one where he ripping the fingers off the Sentinel?
no. This one is they have him like tied down or chained to something, and he's trying to break out.
Okay, okay. Because I got one by XM,
Uh-huh.
but it's he's battling off. They battling off against the Sentinel, and what he's doing is he's ripping the fingers off of the Sentinel.
The quarter scale? You talking about the quarter scale?
It's a quarter scale. Yeah,
Oh, dope. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. It might be
yeah.
another
I
version.
mean, because when you got his arms out like that by X, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
It could be another one that they did, but I know the one I have, he's ripping off the arms. I mean the fingers of the
It came
Sentinel.
out maybe about a year ago.
Not really sure when it came out.
Is he real glossy? Like the blue is real glossy looking?
How did his face look? I can tell it is kind of glossy.
Oh,
What kind of face?
honestly, I don't remember. I mean, I think he's just like the a furious face, like
Yeah,
trying to
I
trying
mean
to
this.
break
You
free.
could be talking about the same one, bro. But I
Yeah.
also got Wolverine to go with it. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so I'll be showing that. But
Yeah, bro. I almost went that route.
yeah.
Now I would like to switch out the 1/10
Mhm.
for either premium formats or quarter scales for the Avengers.
Okay.
I would like to go just a bigger scale for all of those
Yeah.
because I don't really know how else to display them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? With them being movie versions,
Yeah.
you know my thing, man. I just went with the dopest version for each character.
Yeah.
So it's a collage of Avengers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When it comes to Avengers, man, that's one of those lines where you can really besides third scale, because I don't think they in third scale, but like when it comes to quarter scale, you can probably find your great line
Yeah,
to collect.
yeah,
Um, and I feel like if you want to collect the best Avengers line, you probably do want to go 1/4
yeah.
or
But
premium format.
I do want movie too. Like I know Sideshow, they have the comic book versions
They
in,
do.
in quarter scale. I guess that's premium format. Like
Yeah,
that
premium format.
what is that? They just did the Captain America, the Black Widow.
Hmm.
I really want the movie versions though.
Yeah. Now they did do Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if you remember these, but they did Guardians of
Mhm.
the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
Uh, with like a twist on them. There was like a little twist to them,
Okay.
and they came out with Groot,
Hmm.
Gamora, um, Rocket. That was it out of the actual Guardians of the Galaxy. But then they did some other people as well. I guess they was technically part of Guardians of the Galaxy, but it wasn't like from the movie. They wasn't
Hmm.
movie accurate, but they were some dope statues. Some
And
people didn't like
quarter
them.
scale.
They was quarter scale or
Okay.
premium format or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they most people didn't like Gamora's outfit, but
Oh,
it was accurate to I forgot what she had that outfit on. But anyway, I was going to get those. I was going to get them. They have the Gamora exclusive, and then they also had the Group exclusive, and they both was dope. The only issue with Group, which kind of turned me off, is with the exclusive. I think he has an exclusive arm switch out,
Okay,
and majority of the people that have it, the arm is damaged.
gotcha.
Like it's just one of those things that over time is probably going to get damaged.
Yeah,
You got to be very careful with it. So it was either the exclusive arm or the regular arm. I can't remember which one it was, but majority of the people it was damaged, and to find one that wasn't damaged, it was through the roof, man, on the price.
man.
Yep. So that's the only reason I didn't get those two, because I was thinking about getting them, but then at the same time, you had to get Rocket as well.
Yeah,
So most of my pieces are like two. I do like two companions,
yeah,
not necessarily three. Now, if I had four, I could probably make that work, but for the
mhm,
most part, I don't like three um, when it comes to them. So um, that definitely would like kind of made me feel kind of funny about it, but they
yeah.
was excellent. But a lot of people was like feeling like they didn't complete the line because they didn't do
You
Star
didn't do
Lord.
Star Lord, yeah. How you
Yeah,
don't
they
do a
didn't.
Star Lord,
Yeah,
and
they
that's
didn't
the
do
main
Star Lord.
character.
Yeah, bro. So it was kind of weird um, that they did these other. I forgot who the other two people were, but they did not do Star Lord or
Drax.
yeah, Drax. They didn't do either one of them.
Yeah,
And I think
I
I think
think
they would have
Drax
been
is the
dope.
one they leave out a lot of time.
Yeah, I would have definitely, if they would have did Star Lord and Drax, I would
Yeah,
have got it. I
yeah.
would have got all five of them, but they didn't. They didn't do it, man.
So speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, we have the insider event this
Uh-huh.
Friday from Iron Studios.
Yeah.
So I mean, most likely we'll be live anyway.
Hmm.
So we
Yeah.
could go through that and talk about what's new from them.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if they're gonna reveal stuff from this Guardians of the Galaxy 3, or it might be too soon. I know they're coming eventually.
Well, it seemed like they get like the inside scoop on
Yeah,
on parts of the movie, or
yeah.
or the way they supposed to look from the movie. So it seemed like they get that and then they'll come out with it. So I'm pretty sure we might end up seeing something, bro. At
Because
least
the
at
movie's
least
going
one
to
or two
DVD
pieces,
soon.
huh?
The movie's going to DVD soon. I
Yeah,
think usually once the movie leaves the theaters,
yeah,
that's when we start getting the
yeah,
announcements or the reveals.
yeah. So
I'm curious.
I'm pretty sure they probably are. Um, I kind of don't want them to.
It's so early. I mean, yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like it's a little early. I mean, I wish they
yeah,
would hold off a little bit.
yeah.
Because if
Kind
they
of don't
if
want them to.
if they talk about them now, that means they'll probably be released the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about them. If they go ahead and show them,
Yeah,
put them up for pre-order,
yeah,
that's the sooner we can get them in hand. So
yeah.
um, it's just, man, I don't want them to do a killer line with it, because then that mean I got to figure something else out, because
With
that mean
all
I'm
of the
not.
other stuff going on right now,
Yeah,
right? Exactly.
yep.
I'm
So I'm
still trying
hoping.
to look. I'm caught between, do I keep going with this Twitter headline, or do I just drop everything and say, you know what? Tactical. Tactical
Gotcha.
bat. Everything is tactical Batman. And until then,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
everything else gonna have to wait.
You can't go wrong with tactical.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So
just.
what's the release date? Did they say? I know it's up for pre-order, but what's the
Oh,
actual?
I'm pretty sure you can probably go to Prime One's website and see.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
if it
wondering if
was on if it was on Sideshow, you would definitely be able to see it.
and
But
that's
I
another thing. I'm wondering why hasn't it hit Sideshow yet?
see that's one thing that I'm wondering too, because um, some stuff it did hit Sideshow, But like I said, with the Ghost of Tsushima statue that I had ordered, I had to order that directly from Prime One because it never made it to Sideshow. So I'm wondering if this Batman Tactical on Throne is going to do the same thing.
That would be interesting if they hold this one.
That's that, and that I don't want it to happen, bro, because of how expensive that shipping is.
Yeah, I want my rewards points.
And then I
I'm
definitely
not
want
gonna
them.
lie to you. I want
Yeah,
the sideshow rewards off of that one.
yeah, yeah. So that's one of them things, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Because what I do is I usually go to what's new or what's or check out the newest pre-orders
Yeah.
on Sideshow.
Oh, they did.
It's on there.
My bad. They did. Yeah. September to December 2024.
Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that,
Man.
I mean, that definitely gives some time. That's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
more
yeah.
than a year.
So in a situation like that, right,
Yeah.
with Sideshow, like we was mentioning earlier, if you didn't want to upfront all that money
I
right
mean, you got
now, do that payment
12
plan,
months.
and you got a long time to just chop it
Yeah.
up. Next thing you know, you got a $2,000 statue in your collection, man.
Right.
And you didn't have to, go broke for a month or two trying to do it.
True that.
Um,
True that.
but I don't know, man. I'm curious to see. That's kind of the only reason I haven't pre-ordered that tactical, is because I'm trying to see if it's gonna go to Sideshow. So we have to see what they do, man. Have
I
to see
wonder
what
if a
they do.
lot of people in that same situation, like people who normally just order from Sideshow, if they're in that
Hmm.
situation, waiting to see if they get it.
Yeah,
Because honestly, I've never ordered from Prime One, right, directly. So I would naturally go to Sideshow since that's I already have that relationship with
yeah, yeah,
Sideshow.
yeah, yeah. Same here, man. Same here. Like I said, I just didn't want to miss out on that one statue.
Yeah,
So that's the reason that I went ahead and had to pre-order, because I felt like it wasn't coming to Sideshow.
yeah.
And that was a minute ago when I pre-ordered it, and it's still not on
And it
Sideshow.
never did, huh?
Yeah, so I probably would have missed out on it. Um, so as far as um, this tactical, I'm not really sure, man, what they're gonna do. I do know, like PCS, for instance, their statues, they've been putting them on Sideshow as well. Um, Now
Yeah,
you
all of
do,
the new stuff, right?
yeah, all of the new stuff. The only thing that you're not going to get is, like I said, they trying to do some of that premium bonus type of stuff as well. So
Yeah.
you won't get those ones, but you can get like the deluxe or the regular edition type of stuff on Sideshow as well. So that's the one thing, PCS is still putting stuff on there. You just can't get like the deluxe bonus, if you want to call it whatever.
So that's what I'm looking right now for, that blade, because I know that
Blade,
was one that was a deluxe bonus, right?
yeah,
So they have the one with him versus the vampires where they're trying to
yep,
pull him down. But I was
yep.
trying to see if they had
Museum pose.
that museum pose. Yeah,
Probably just type in Blade, man. Blade PTS.
yeah, I don't see it.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm. So that
So
must be one. I mean, I figured the one with the coin and all of that stuff that would be exclusive to
that's
PCS.
exclusive. Yeah, that's
But
exclusive.
I thought at least the regular version might be on Sideshow. But you know what? That
Now,
makes sense. I mean, the statue itself. I mean, whether it's version A or version B,
hmm
is I mean, it's still considered one statue, right? And that style, that statue itself,
yeah,
they probably keeping that for PCS site.
got you. Shoot, throw it up, man. Throw it up on the thing that you got your duel.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, throw it up, man. I'm gonna say the that's interesting, man. Like because I want to know. Like what is really going on? Like
Yeah,
is it something that companies are now going to start not putting statues, like certain statues, on Sideshow? Or is it just that it's going to be delayed before it goes to Sideshow?
that's a good point. It could just be delayed.
But then at the same time, it's like, okay, do you gamble because you don't know?
True.
Do you gamble and say, let me wait for it to come to Sideshow? Or well, what I'm basically saying is, I wish they would put up something that
Yeah.
lets you know coming to Sideshow soon, or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree.
Uh, which I do feel like they used to do that, man. They used to, well, on some pieces they still do it, but they have like a coming soon type of thing. And I just don't know, bro. I don't know what they're gonna do, if they're gonna come out with only some on Sideshow and then keep the rest exclusively to their website, or what.
Yeah.
But man, it's tough, man.
And I've never ordered directly from PCS either. But
Me neither. Not
I mean,
not
yeah,
until
that
recently.
museum one I might. I mean, that's so I was actually looking at. Oh,
Oh
hold
no,
on.
there
Here
it
it
is.
is. Here it
There it
is.
is. Yeah, yeah. I thought I had seen it on there.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
So I was looking at the real estate earlier, right, and kind of looking at the shelving, and
that one
I
don't
actually
take but
got
no.
excited, man. I was like, you know what? At the bottom of these shelves that I have, these cube organizers, I could fit 1/3, especially
Yeah,
if they have that small footprint from the
exactly.
base.
Yep. See, and see, that's what I was telling you. Like, the one thing about PCS, they don't put a whole. I can't say they don't put a lot into their bases, but they don't overdo their bases. They keep them somewhat simple.
Yeah,
Like, look at that right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
yeah,
not
that's
big at
only
all.
11 inches in depth. That'll
Yeah,
fit.
you know what
That'll
I'm
fit
saying?
in these.
Yeah. So at the same time, it's not overwhelming to the point that it's like, wow. But at the same
Yeah,
time, it's like, that's a nice base, and I'm loving that statue. So a lot of time they kind of focus more on the statue than they do the base.
right.
Um, and I'm cool with that. It's better than their back in the day, just plain black base. Um, so I really do like that statue there, man. Um, Me personally, man, I just, even though I love it, I'm having a hard time because I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know, as far as just that solo piece by itself,
Yeah,
how to make it display correctly in my collection. That's the hard part. And then I feel like some pieces, man, you get them, they may not display good in the setup that you have, um, but you may still not want to miss out on that piece though, because on the aftermarket it's going to be through the roof.
true.
So um,
Yeah,
oh,
and I think with the 1/3 with the height on those,
hmm
I would have to display those. I would rather display those on a lower shelf and have a smaller scale, like quarter or 1/6 sitting on top.
gotcha, gotcha.
So
Now the
like,
thing,
and the reason I'm thinking about that is like you said, what to display it with, right? Most likely that would be like a one-off piece for me.
hmm
Well, probably for all of us, because I don't know if they're making anything else with it.
I don't
But to
I don't
just
know if they
have,
are.
huh?
I said you're right. I don't know if they're gonna do that or not.
But to have a 1/3 collection, I mean, it may not be pieces that go together or characters that go together, but
Hold on, big man.
it could always just be a 1/3 collection.
Yeah. What's up? Hold on. Your mama did not clean you up, man. Go tell mama clean you off. boy, I don't know why she. Chase. Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm
This
down.
one. Get up.
Jeez.
So I gotta be honest with you, bro. These Mortal Kombat pieces are fire too. The Melina, the Katana,
Yeah,
both of those are dope.
yeah, they are. I mean, they got similar poses.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
similar poses. Which is the reason that I never really got into them like that, is because the pose was so similar.
yeah.
But they are dope, man, because they also had oh, calm down. They also had he trying to see himself.
What's up, man?
They also have like Sub-Zero, Scorpion.
Those came out like some time ago, right?
Yeah, they did. They came out some time ago. And some people got like some custom ones made and everything, man, like with the custom paint jobs on them.
Yeah.
And it was very impressive, man, to see that entire line. But they all had pretty much like the same pose.
Oh, okay. This is that Ryu I was talking about the other day. Remember I was saying where he's holding his arm?
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one I knew. I knew this one. You was what you want.
Yeah.
Hey, go
He
to you up.
I think it's a solo though. That's a one of.
So I'm gonna be honest with you,
I
bro.
don't
So
think they made nothing to go with him.
if you go into the description on that, they talk about that. They talk about that being with this Sagat statue that I have here.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't get how that's supposed to go with that. But they talked about. Jeez.
Oh, that bison.
Yep.
This one. I'm assuming the Blanca. All of that's supposed to be that same Street Fighter line, right? Well, it made it Blanca's a 1/4.
They just
No, the Blanca I think is a 1/4.
Yeah, Blanca was 1/4. Yep.
Man, I think my internet is moving slow.
Got you. So hold on real quick. Because they talked about him battling off against Sagat. Either it was this write up or it was this or the write up on Sagat statue.
Okay.
So it is not on this one, it was on the Sagat one.
And even this one is 29 inches tall.
Yep. Yeah, that one. So that one is definitely not anything close to how tall Sagat is. But he's pretty cool though.
That bison was around the same size as this one in height.
Bison was probably about that size.
Okay.
Yeah, Bison was probably about that size. Hold on, real quick. Let me get him straight real quick, man.
Yeah. Hey, matter of fact, we we well over an hour, and actually we rounding 2 hours.
Yeah.
So really, man, we good.
What's up?
I said we really good. We basically covered what we wanted to cover tonight in regards to having too many in the collection, man, collecting too many. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as I think we both agree, as long as you can display them in an organized way, have some kind of structure to them, then man, collect as many as you can.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Most definitely, man.
Now, if you cluttering up the room, you might want to slow down and rethink some stuff, man. Maybe start switching some stuff out.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Yeah. Do the don't just buy. You know what I'm saying? You also gotta think it through, man. Can't just be buying stuff. You gotta think it through.
Yeah.
So I'm with it, man.
Well, all right, brother. Appreciate everybody for logging on.
Yes, sir.
As always, please remember to like, comment, subscribe to both channels.
Yes, sir.
Black Ice Collectibles, Cool Game Collectibles. I know you just did 2 unboxings for Donatello and Leonardo, so make sure y'all check out those unboxings.
Yep.
And I know you have some other unboxings coming up, right?
Yep. I just got Peacemaker in today,
Dope.
and then I got some kind of like some poster frames from Sideshow that I'm gonna do an unboxing on as well, and just some other stuff I got. So we're gonna
Cool.
definitely do it, and then plus the room tour. Still waiting to get
Yeah.
that video edited.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, all right, man.
All right.
I'm dragging my feet on some stuff, bro. So I don't really have announcements right now. Other than I am doing the unboxing for Thor from the Battle of New York line, the 110 scale from our
Yep.
studio. So I have that up soon. But as always, appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
And
Y'all
y'all
take it
stay
easy.
cool.
Yep.